So, Michael, I was really laughing when I read your question because you were saying, while I'm listening to episode 8 of the Investors Podcast, it's all nice and well that you talk about this is how you get a high return. But how can I get a high return on a capital that I don't have? So let's talk about that. And I think that is a fantastic question. I'm sure there are so many other that have. How I want to access that is really to talking about the difference between cash inflow and cash outflow. So Michael, let's say that you have something like 8 hours a day that you work and you make $20 an hour. So you have an income of $160. If you're like most people, and I really don't know you, so I don't know if you are, but you will be spending the majority of your money. So say that you'll be spending $140. So now you have a difference of $20 that you can start investing. Then you might be thinking, should I work extra hours? And now you have $240 before expenses. And say that your expense is still $140, so now you can put in $100, and before you could only put in $20. So you might be thinking, well, that's a sweet deal. I actually have 5 times as much as I can set aside for investing. And I think that's decent. But the problem is you are exchanging time for money. As soon as you're really in this way of thinking that you will be exchanging your time for money, then you're heading for trouble. Very few people can really, work 12 hours a day, and I don't think it's healthy to do. So please don't do that. At least for your family and for your friends' sake, don't do that. That is not the way to go about it. What I would suggest instead is that you will be working smart hours. So when I'm talking about smart hours, I'm talking about delivering more value. The more value you're providing to people, the more you get paid. So let me give you an example. My day job is teaching. I love teaching. That's the best thing I can think about. Say that I'm making $20 an hour. The reason why I'll be making $20 an hour, no matter how good I am, is that when I have a class, I will have, say, 30 students. So I can only deliver value to 30 students. Now, I also do other things. I also have this podcast, for instance, and my YouTube channel. So this is not limited to me putting time in, standing in front of my students. If I put something up, it will be seen by thousands of people, or my podcast will be listened to by thousands of people. And when they do that, I'm providing more value, say $50 an hour. I now have $400 each day. And if my expenses are still $140, now I can set aside $260. And I'm not working more, I'm just working smarter. What I would really encourage you to do is don't climb the ladder. You shouldn't, be looking at the CEO in the conference room and thinking, this is where I need to go, because you would still have this problem of spending a lot of time and a lot of energy working for other people. Let me give you an example. Before I started teaching, I was working as a commodities trader. Now, when you work as a commodities trader, you have a very decent salary. Well, we can always argue if you deliver more value, but clearly it's a high-paid job. But the problem was that I was still constrained of someone that has to make money off me. And that's completely fine, because of course no one would hire me to trade commodities if they were not making the profit from me doing it. So what I really want to say is you need to work for yourself. You need to be CEO of your own company. I mean, I consider myself CEO of Stig Brodersen, and I think everyone should be CEO of themselves, because the minute they start to be working for themselves and not starting to work for other people, this is really where they're going to make a difference. So Michael, I just really want to stress, please don't take this as me telling you to quit your job or me telling you to start your own company. What I'm really saying is that you're always CEO of yourself, no matter what you do. And it's up to you to create as much value as possible. For instance, in my old job as an employee and as a commodities trader, the more value I created, the better job I was doing, the more I could get in pay, and the more I had a chance to get promoted. And I'm sure it's the same with your job and everyone else's job. So Michael, I really hope that you got something out of it. 2 points here. The first one was really, don't exchange your time for money. That's the wrong way of looking at it. And the other thing was, create as much value you can for other people, and you will be rewarded accordingly. Michael, if you have any other questions, any follow-up questions, I would love to hear them. I would love to make a new video. You can find me directly on Twitter at Stig_Brodersen, or you can also drop me an email or record your question at asktheinvestors.com.